Okay. You see that? That's a freaking totem pole. Okay. That's on my tap out hat. And the way my look, I look like the Pope. I do. I'm like the Pope, I am. I'm I'm channeling. I'm channeling the spirit of God to send down my edicts upon the earth. And I'm not even hungover today. I was yesterday. That gambling poker party I had with the Gambino family made me kind of hungover yesterday, but I'm better. So so anyways, um so that's a totem pole. It is. So a totem pole represents a hierarchy, and in this country we have the upper class, which is the elite, the mega rich people. Then you have the upper middle, lower middle, working class, working poor, and then the freaking dirt freaking poor. Like me. So so that's what that is. It's a totem pole. It's like people are trying to move. They want to have upward mobility to get to that standard of living and all the status symbols that come to let everybody know, that come with it, that let everybody know where they are socio-economic ranking in society. Okay, and everybody pursues that crap, and they want to be there so bad. And I used to be like that, man. I remember I bought me a Honda Civic when I was in college. And I bought it brand new, dude. I couldn't even really afford it. I was living beyond my means. Okay. And I thought I could get it with a payment for under $300 a month, man. You know, my target was about 275, but I wound up, I think it was like 328 or something. So it was really out of my budget. That's how tight my budget was, dude. I was going to school full time. I was working. I had to work full time to pay for it. And I still didn't have enough money, man. I had to get my parents to help me. You know, my mom and my dad, which sucked. And so, anyways, and it created horrible stress too. It did. It created, and I remember, man, I was strapped with that freaking car, and it was killing me financially. Okay, and I remember going to church here in Lake Charles, and after I would get out of church, I'd drive by the new car place, and I wanted a Honda Accord, man, I did, because when my car was at the church parking lot, and I compared it to other people's, I felt poor. You know what I'm saying? I felt compared to them on the socioeconomic totem pole, which is a product of the left eyeball, which is over the freaking pyramid in the triangle on the back of the dollar bill. You know, they created they created this whole freaking world system, dude. And we're some little brainwashed little freaking zombies pursuing that crap. And it's a product of the flesh. Left eyeball is the flesh, right eyeball is the spirit. Because God is on the right hand, Jesus on the right hand side, the natural side. You see what I'm saying? And the left hand is unnatural to God. Okay, it's contrary to God. It's the enemy of God. So anyways, you know, and I felt poor. I felt like, you know, I felt inferior. And I don't want to get into all these details and all this. I don't want to get bogged down chasing rabbits, but I'm gonna say it. There's something that they call a inferior superior dichotomy, and a dichotomy is a way of thinking. Okay, that creates social classes and socioeconomic hierarchies within a society. It's a way of thinking because we compare ourselves among ourselves, which Paul said was foolish, and we rank ourselves. And it's usually based on materialism, what kind of car we drive, what kind of clothes we wear, what kind of house we live in, what neighborhood we live in, what kind of job we have. All that stuff has rank. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's trying to go up that little freaking totem pole ladder, and they destroy their whole families doing it, and they destroy their relationship with God. You know, I finally had to come to a place where I was thankful to have my vehicle, and I was thankful that it ran as good as it did, and I was thankful that I had the kind of gas mileage I did. And I just started being thankful for what he had given me. And I had learned, you know, or he took it out of me or something to where it wasn't a big deal anymore. And I remember going to a church just recently, you know, maybe a year or two ago, and a young guy who's I think he's the youth pastor there. He was saying how he was preaching, I think, or he's giving a Sunday school lesson. I can't remember, but I remember something that stuck with me. He said that he was married, and he said that he sold his SUV. He had a Mercedes SUV, and he sold it because he couldn't afford it. And he got to the point to where he wasn't really worried about making other people think that he was rich. You know, and I used to be like that. And, you know, because nobody wants to look down upon or people look at you and you're little in their sight. Nobody likes that feeling. So everybody wastes all their time on this earth, man, freaking trying to go from a small stature to a big stature. You see what I'm saying? And he said he couldn't afford it, man, so he sold it because he didn't really, it wasn't that important to him anymore. You know, he got him an American made car, or, you know, a common man's car, I guess. So in my dream, the pillars that were wide and shallow, okay, and all they saw was red because that's Republicans. The people that, you know, are having it hard economically, they're going to vote these people into office to bring economic good times to them. Okay, and they are. And these people want to live like kings on the earth, you know, that vote them in there. And, you know, they want to have, and they live beyond their means, man. They max out their credit cards. They do what I did. You know, they buy vehicles they really can't afford. And they're angry and they're mad because a part of their paycheck has to go to taxes, and it's the poor people's fault that doesn't work because, you know, they're just freaking leeches and parasites, and screw them. Let them fend for them freaking selves like I have to. That's not God's way, man. You know, God says you're supposed to remember the freaking poor. You stay tuned.